Hi guys, good morning everyone. Hello all. Am I audible? Is my voice reaching to all? Can I get the responses please? Hi Shalini. Hi Arvind. Okay. All right guys. So today we have to start from Data Factory. What is Azure Data Factory? Okay. So see here, Azure Data Factory is basically an ETL tool. It's basically an ETL tool which we are hosting or deploying in cloud computing platform, and we are consuming this as platform as service. We are consuming this as a PaaS, platform as service, and we use ETL. We use this Azure Data Factory ETL tool, okay, to fetch the data from variety of different source system. We process the data, we transform the data, and then finally we load the data into the destinations. Okay, this all we'll do in Azure Data Factory. Okay, it's a fully managed serverless data integration solution for ingesting or inserting and preparing and transforming all our data at scale. Okay, what we are doing, we are, you know, ingesting or inserting the data, preparing the data, transforming, okay, at scale, depends upon, okay, it could be 10 GB of data, it could be 1 GB of data, it could be 1 TB of data. It depends. Okay. When compared to other ETL tools like SSIS, Informatica, Data Stage, okay, Talent, there are many ETL tools in the current market. But in these tools, we have to set up everything, okay, like infrastructure, cost, performance, productivity, security. And compared to all these parameters, Azure Data Factory is much more efficient. Okay. Compared to all the other ETL tools, okay, Data Factory is much more efficient than these tools, and ADF is finally managed by Microsoft. Finally, it is being managed by Microsoft. We need not to worry about underlying infrastructure, cost, performance, security, etc. Everything will be taken care by Microsoft for ingesting or loading the data via ADF. Why? Because we are using this as platform as service. We are using this as what? A platform as service. In platform as service, many of the things that your cloud vendor will take care of. Your cloud vendor will take care of. Okay. And underlying infrastructure, security, okay, reliability, performance, everything is up to the mark in Azure Data Factory, because it's a services of a cloud computing platform, first thing. And other thing is we are consuming this as what? A platform as service. Okay. Platform as a service. Okay. We were doing some SQL queries for doing the transformation, but from 2019 onwards, we have mapping data flow. Okay, came into the picture when we need, or we can do all kind of transformations easily without writing the code in ADF. Okay, so in ADF there is almost zero code. Okay, to process the data, to transform the data, or to load the data into the destination, to fetch the data from different source systems, to convert the data from source to target and all. Coding is almost zero. Yes, I told that very beginning, in the beginning classes also, that in data engineering, coding is not much there, but yes, configurations is very tough. Configuration is very tough. Okay, we can do many things, like, okay, we can do many things in ADF. We can simplify two main tasks. Okay, we can do many things in ADF. We can simplify two main tasks. We can copy the data, we can transform the data, and like this kind of tasks we can be automated and scheduled in ADF. Yes, in ADF we can do lot of automations that I'm going to show you guys, wherein you are designing the pipelines, ADF pipelines, and the pipelines will run automatically by itself when you do the automation. There is no need for any human intervention. Okay, when we use the automations concepts in ADF, Automatically it will work like an engine wherein it will fetch the data from the source system and it will, okay, process the data. It will transform based upon the business need, and then it will load the data into the destination. Okay, so see here, this activities we are doing data copy, and here in this, with this, we are doing here the data transformation. Okay, in ADF, we can fetch the data from variety of different sources. The data could in any size, any format, any shape. See, ADF can work, okay, with any size of data, any format of the data, any shape. We can fetch and extract the data from source, transform and load it into the destinations. Okay, based upon the business needs, we can insert or dump the data into the destination in any different formats as compared with source. Okay, if the data in source is in Excel format, we can extract, transform and load into the .csv format. Okay, fine. This also we can do. Data in source, we are taking in one format, and when we are loading into the destination, we can load into in a different format. This all we are going to do, guys. Variety of different scenarios we are going to learn here in ADF. Okay, ADF is the heartbeat of Azure data engineering. ADF is the heartbeat of Azure data engineering. Okay, we can even load the data from multiple sources to one single destination. Yes, so like SQL DB single table, or in one single file, or in Parquet format, varies business to business requirements. Okay, so multiple tables you are having, all the tables you can fetch the data from your database, SQL database, and you can load it into the files, or from files you can load it to SQL database, vice versa. Both is possible. Okay, we are covering all scenarios, guys. Okay, we start the labs, then I will show you all this stuff. Microsoft has inbuilt many source and destination as datasets as native to Azure Data Factory Studios for Azure data engineers. Okay, so see here in ADF, we are having lot of connectors. Okay, lot of inbuilt sources, lot of inbuilt activities, controls that will help us to fulfill the business requirements. See, this is the diagram. Assume that this is your source system. This is your source system. This is your target system. Okay, this is source and this is target. Fine. Now, in source system, you are having some files, file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4. You are having some multiple files in your source system. Okay, and you want now to copy all these files, okay, from this source system to this target system. This source system could be anything. It could be in SQL database, it could be in CSV files, it could be in on premises, it could be in storage account, whatever it is, it could be in any place. So what we'll do, using ADF in between, will what we'll do, we'll fetch these files from source system and we load it into the destination. We load it into the destination. Okay, fine. So now, how we are doing this from here to here, using ADF in between the source and target systems, we are keeping ADF. In between, ADF is there. And what we'll do with this ADF, we will create the multiple things here. We will create the multiple things. What we are doing, say first we are creating, okay, we are having source system file, we are having target destination. Let us take, this is one storage account, this is another storage account. Then we are keeping ADF in between them. What we'll do, we'll create first link service. What link service will carry in ADF? Okay, first we'll get an ADF, then in ADF we create the link service. Link service carries the credentials, username, password, and connection information to which source system you have to connect. Link service will carry the information to which source system you have to connect, because you are going to have multiple source systems, not one. So which source system you have to connect, that information will put it here in the link services. Next, data set. What is why we are creating data set? Data set will carry the information in the connected link services, okay, which files we have to pick in the data set, whether we have to pick all the files or we have to pick only one file, or we have to pick some 2 3 files out of 10 files. Accordingly, whatever that information will put here in data sets. This we are creating link service and data sets we are creating in source side, source system side. Okay, for source system, we are creating these link services and data sets. In the same way, again, we'll create the link service and data set for target system also, for target side. So we are creating two link services and two data sets, one at source system side and another one is at target system side. Getting guys, is that clear or not? So this link service in source system side will contain the information to which source system we are going to connect, and dataset in the source system side will carry the information in the connected source system which files we have to pick to copy. Okay, fine. And then same in the target system side, this link service will mention that which okay, dataset, which target, okay, which target system we have to load the data, and dataset here it will contains that the files which we are copying from our source system, okay, that files it will keep it here in your target system. And all this is happening within ADF. Then after this is done, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, after this is done, then we'll create a ADF pipelines. Fifth, see, fifth step, then we'll get an ADF pipeline. What is this ADF pipeline? This is a logical grouping of activities where we'll do copy, we'll do data filtering, we'll do data validation, we'll put the conditions accordingly as per the requirement of the business. We'll perform the multiple okay operations here, will fulfill the business requirement. When we want to move the file from source to target, then we use pipelines, and in these pipelines we can have the activities or controls. You can call it as controls or activities, whatever it is. Then finally we'll do the publishing of the pipelines, and then we'll do the debug of the pipeline. Publishing is something like saving all the changes, all the implementations what you have done, okay, and debug is something running the pipeline, running the all controls and activities whatever you have created inside the ADF pipelines. Okay, if you want to move the files, let us take file 1, file 2, file 3, etc. from my source to target, then we need some compute infrastructure. And this compute, see, when the ADF is picking the files from source and loading into the destination, so it is not happening just in the air. ADF also needs some what infrastructure like computing power, processing power, networking power, all. And that all things we call it as what? Integration runtime. We call it as what? Integration runtime. This integration runtime is automatically managed by ADF based upon the data volume which has to move from source to target. Correct now? See, if I tell you, okay, to get some 25 kgs rice bag, 25 kgs rice bag from ground floor to first floor. Okay, you are young, you are 22, 20 years old. Okay, but still what you need an energy. You need that energy, you need the power to get that rise back from ground floor to first floor. In the same way, ADF needs the computing power, processing power, networking power to pick the files from source system, do the transformations, okay, do the business validations, and then load it to the destination. So to provide all this compute power, networking power, and all, ADF needs the integration runtime, and this integration runtime will get created along with ADF only. Along with ADF only. Okay, it is part of the ADF. Integration runtime is part of an ADF. Okay, no. Lata Linga, this ADF is an automatic setup. It will get created automatically along with the, sorry, integration runtime is an automatic setup. When we create an ADF, automatically integration runtime will also get created for you. Okay, fine. Integration runtime, very important for interviews point of view, guys. This is very much expected question in the interviews. What it is saying, it basically provides compute infrastructure and it is used by ADF, and this compute infrastructure is like a network, storage, memory, etc. All these things can be taken care by integration runtime. See what I'm saying here? All these things can be taken care by integration runtime. By default, we'll have integration runtime while creating an ADF service. If you want to move the data from cloud to cloud or want to move the data from public network to cloud, then we cannot install any external integration runtime. Okay, by default, we'll have this integration runtime only. We'll have this integration runtime and we can make use of this runtime. Okay, that leave it. Lalita, I'll explain. Okay, in the first day itself only, I don't want to go with different runtimes here. Okay, integration runtimes are of different types we are having, but I don't want to confuse the students here. I'll go slowly. We can have our own integration runtime also. Slowly, I'll cover one by one. I think you are having some knowledge. Good. Okay. If I started all the different types and purposes, then there are many students who are freshers here or people from non-IT background. So when the time comes in, I'll definitely explain more. Okay. Fine. So basically, simple words, integration runtime is what? It's part of an ADF, which will get created along with your ADF only, and it will give the compute power, processing power, networking power for your ADF, to copy the data from source to target. Very, very important for interviews point of view, guys. Okay. When performing the transformation means we are performing here like joins, union, select, where, aggregation, etc., etc. Depends upon the business requirement. We'll use the different transformation. Okay, we are going to do a lot of demos on transformation as well. Okay, I'll just show you one by one. When client don't want to load the data as it is, when client don't want to load the data as it is, they need some transformations to be performed before loading the data in target, then these transformations are helpful. So when we use a transformation, when we need to make some changes in the data before loading into the destination, then we use the transformation. ADF is complete ETL. What I'm saying, see, ADF is complete ETL or ELT. You can do extract, transformation, on load, or you can do extract, load, and transformation. Okay, whichever you want. Then this is the tool which we can use. Okay, in which we can extract, transform, and load the data into the destination. Load the data into the destination. Building blocks of Azure Data Factory. The main components of Azure Data Factory is what? The main components of ADF is, link services, data set, activities. This will come inside the ADF pipelines, and ADF pipeline itself only. Okay, so the main building blocks of Azure Data Factory. These things you are going to have in Azure Data Factory, bare minimal. Okay, and here in pipeline you can have multiple activities accordingly as per the need of the business. I will show you. I will show you. No need to be panic. Okay, I'll just show you. practically, then the things will be much more clear to all of you. Pipelines in Azure Data Factory. What is pipelines in ADF? Pipeline is a logical grouping of activities that together perform a task. A data factory can have one or more pipeline. The activities we define in pipelines perform the action on our data. 40 activities we can define in one pipeline. How many? 40 controls or 40 activities we can have in one pipeline. Okay, activities in ADF. What activities we can do? Data movement activities, data transformation activities, and data control activities. Okay, data sets. I told just now what is data set. Data set will carry the information, okay, about the source files, source system files. What files we have to pick in the from the source system, what file we have to pick, that information will be in the data set. Link services, which source system we have to connect, okay, that information will be present in the link service, okay, LS, link services. Examples: want to copy the data from blob storage to SQL database, then we must create two link services, one for Azure blob storage and one for SQL database. Two link services we have to create. So these are all the points, guys. These are all the theoretical points for ADF. This is full theoretical points. Okay, see here I have mentioned somewhere. See, integration runtime concept is very useful and it provides a compute infrastructure. Same point again I'm telling. If you want to move the data from one place to another, then we must install a software and executable file. Okay. We can also have self-hosted integration runtime. We can also have self-hosted integration runtime. Default runtime also we can use, or else if we want, we can create our own integration runtime that is called as self-hosted integration runtime. And this also we can use to copy the data from source to target. Okay. This is all theory, guys. This is all theory. Okay. Read this theoretical information here completely. Okay. Same diagram again. I am explaining here with some concepts here. We are having different types of triggers. When we want to do the automations in ADF pipelines, then we use these triggers. Okay. This is all theory. Schedule trigger, tumbling windows based trigger, event triggers. Okay. This all I'll show you the practicals. Okay. Integration runtimes. Integration runtime is the compute infrastructure used by Azure Data Factory. There are three types of integration runtime. Okay, Azure IR, Azure SSIS IR, and self-hosted IR. Okay, fine. So this will get by default. Okay, this we can create as per our convenience, and we can use this one if we want, or else by default ADF will use this one. And if you're using with SSIS packages migration and all, then you can use this integration runtime also. Okay, fine. Self-hosted integration runtime is what? Here I'm giving the explanation. All the explanation is here. Okay, fine. What is triggers? Triggers normally we use to do the automations in ADF pipelines. Whenever we want to do the automations in ADF pipeline, then we use the what triggers here. Okay. Yeah. So why we need to have self-hosted is because what is happening here? Actually, the integration runtime that what we are getting with ADF, that is more than sufficient for us. Okay. Because that integration runtime is having auto control. If you're having the files in your source system in huge volume, then ADF will increase its power automatically. Okay, it is the best. Self-hosted, why we use sometimes, like, the compute power, if you want it all the time, every time, large size only. Okay, the compute power, we want it at large size only all the time. Okay, and based upon the need of the business. Okay, if the cloud solutions architect in the blueprint they have mentioned that to go for self-hosted integration runtime only, then we'll create it and then we use that only. Okay, but as I have experienced that in many of the projects, the default integration runtime what we are getting in ADF, that only we are using because that is auto control. automatically it will increase the power, depends upon the source system files, and it will decrease if the files are of small sizes. Okay, when you want the compute power always large, and when you have to control the complete process of the data flow, when you want it to be in your control from source to target, then you can use self-hosted integration runtime. Okay, guys, fine. Is that clear? Lata, Linga? All right, thank you. So now triggers. What is triggers? Whenever we want to do an automations, wherein we want to run the pipelines by itself without any human intervention, then we can go with triggers concept. Triggers are used to schedule execution of pipelines. Pipelines and triggers have many to many relationships. Okay, this I'll show you practically. We are having here also three different types of triggers. What are the three different types of triggers we are having here? Okay, event trigger. Okay, schedule based trigger. Some three types of triggers we are having here somewhere. Yeah, see, schedule trigger, tumbling windows based trigger, and event triggers. Okay, schedule trigger is we use when we want to run the ADF pipelines at a particular time. Okay, at a particular frequency, like every 5 hours, the pipelines wants I want to run. Every 10 hours, then I can use this schedule triggers, tumbling windows based trigger, and event triggers. Okay, so event triggers is what whenever what I can say, yeah, whenever any file landed into your source system, on that time we use this event based trigger. Like this we are having here. I'll show you practically I'll show you all these three types of triggers also. Okay, fine. Next, self-hosted integration runtime. If the data is, see, here I have mentioned very clearly self-hosted integration runtime, when to use and why to use. See, if the data is in on-premises and hosted on a private network, and when we have to connect to their network, okay, one of the other purposes here is also we can see that when the data is in on-premises and hosted in private network, when the data is hosted on a private network, when we have to connect to their network, then in this case we can use the self-hosted integration runtime, and it is secure network. And when we want to connect to that secure system and need to move the data to the target, hence in this case we want to move the data from on-prem to cloud, then we can use the self-hosted integration runtime. Okay, a relationship between the ADF components. Okay, pipelines. Okay, activities inside the pipelines, data sets. Okay, all these are two-way connections. All these are two-way connections. See, two-way connection. This is a two-way, one-way connection. This is a one-way connection. Okay, here from pipelines. Okay, activities to data sets to link services to integration runtime. Okay, triggers. Why triggers are used? Triggers are used to schedule the execution of pipelines. Pipelines and triggers have many to many relationship. Multiple triggers can kick off a single pipeline, or a single trigger can kick off multiple pipelines. Many to many relationships here we can have it between the pipelines and triggers. Okay. When to use ADF? When to use ADF? We can use ADF when we are building, okay, a big data analytics solution on Microsoft Azure. We can use ADF when we are building a modern data warehouse solution that relies on technologies such as SQL, SSIS, analytics services, etc. ADF also provides the ability to run SSIS packages on Azure, or build a modern ETL or ELT, extract transform load, or extract load transform pipelines, and letting us access both on-premises and cloud data services. We can use ADF to migrate, or read these theoretical points, guys. All this is theoretical points. Please read it. Okay, fine. See here what we are doing. This is Azure part. These components we are having in Azure. Okay, this is your source systems. This is your source system. Okay, so what we are doing, assume that here in this Azure we are having ADF deployed or created. We are fetching the data from different source systems, and then we are doing the extract, transformation, and load. And finally, when we are keeping the data into our destination, then from there, Power BI, Tableau, Power Apps, all the tools will use different BI tools to present the data. To present the data. Okay. When to use ADF and why to use ADF? ADF is cost effective. It is cheap. What it is saying, see, to process and load 100 GB of data. Okay. Assuming 100 GB data movement per hour, which should take around 8 minutes with 200 Mbps internet bandwidth, then ADF will bill us not more than $12 for monthly execution. Very cheap, right? 100 GB of data, if you process, if you move from source to target with a 200 Mbps internet bandwidth, then it will charge you approximately $12 per month. So why to use ADF? These are the benefits of ADF. Cost effective, okay, cloud scale, enterprise grade security, high performance hybrid connectivity, easy interacting, visual UI and authoring and monitoring tools, schedule pipeline executions, complete data flow end to end with ADF process. Okay, complete data flow with the ADF 8, okay, ETL process. Okay. What is this, Arvind? If ADF can do preparation and transformation of data, then why do we need Databricks? Yes. Databricks also doing the same thing what ADF is doing. Okay. In Databricks, we are writing the PySpark. In Databricks, we can do the customizations. We can write the commands as per the need of our business. Here in ADF, we are using the controls, activities we are using here. Whereas in Databricks, we are not using any particular activity there. We are, okay, using the script. We are writing the PySpark, Python code, Python commands, and then we are fetching the data. Okay, both are ETL tools only. Arvind, is that clear? The given tools, whatever it is available, that we are using and we are fetching, we are, loading the data here, and whereas in there it is something like this. Lata, move data from Salesforce to Azure. Do we call cloud to cloud? It depends. It depends. So if you want to move the data from cloud to cloud, that cloud subscription you should be having. Okay, then you have to set up the network for that cloud. You should be having some infrastructure set up there. Active subscription should be there. Okay, what data is present there? Many things it depends upon. Just as an example I have given, yes, but that possible. That is possible. Cloud to cloud data movement is also possible here. Okay, fine. So these are some benefits and advantages. Okay, if we use ADF. Okay, fine. So data flow. Okay, what is data flow? Data flow allows data engineers to develop graphical data transformation logic without writing the code. Without writing the code. Data flows are executed as activities within Azure Data Factory's pipelines using scale out Azure Data Bricks clusters. Within ADF, integration runtimes are compute infrastructure used to provide data integration capabilities such as data flow and data movement. ADF has the following three IRs. Azure Integration Runtime, different types of integration runtimes that are available, self-hosted integration runtime, and Azure SSIS integration runtime. Okay. What is these three runtimes that I am showing it here? Okay. All theoretical point, guys. This is all theoretical part. Okay. General purpose, mapping data flows for transformations and aggregations. General purpose, memory optimize. Okay. Compute optimize, schedule and monitor. These are all the, what I can say, different features or options we are having for ADF. Okay. So next I'll see implementation steps to create and deploy an ADF. Okay. How to create an ADF. Okay, how to deploy an ADF in Azure Data Factory, that I'm going to show you now. Okay, this is all theoretical part. Okay, please read this theoretical part. This is helping you a lot for your interviews point of view. Don't take this theoretical part, okay, easily. Okay, because for interviews, this theoretical knowledge is only important, guys. I'm telling you. This theoretical knowledge is very important for interviews. They're not going to give you laptop. They're not going to ask you to do the labs, to do any lab here. Okay. They will check your knowledge in the interview with the one-on-one conversation only. It could be a face-to-face interview or it could be telephonic interview, whatever it is. All right. Now we'll see how we can implement the ADF, how we can deploy or how we can create Azure Data Factory in cloud computing platform. Okay. So what I'll do here, I will go to cloud platform. Okay. Portal.azure.com. I'll say here data factories. Data factories. See, I got the data factories here. Click on these data factories. Click on create to create a new ADF here. Now here see, this is what data factory. Okay, ADF, Azure Data Factory. So as usual, subscription resource group. I'll take this one name. What name you want to give here? You can give it as Naresh ADF. You can give the name as what? Naresh ADF. Naresh Azure Data Factory. Where you want to deploy, same like storage account, wherever you can deploy, multiple options you are having. Accordingly, for whichever client you are working, you will pick up the region. For US client, you will pick up the US regions. For European clients, you will pick up the European regions. For Indian client, for Australia, whatever it is. I'm just going with the, okay, it is saying that the data factory name is already taken. Choose a different name. So I'll just say here, okay, to make the name as unique, I'm just adding some number here, 1154. Any number you can add, your choice. Okay, just to make the name as unique. Here I'm deploying in East West region and version V2. If you remember, in material we read one point from 2019, Microsoft has launched version 2. Previously we were having version 1 of ADF. Now we have got version 2 of ADF. Multiple additional benefits, features that we are having in this version 2. We can take version 2 only. Automatically it will take version 2. There is no option for you to select version 1 or version 2. Version 1 is deprecated now. Next. Okay. Configuration. If you want to integrate your ADF with the GitHub, okay, then uncheck this box. Say here you want to integrate with DevOps or GitHub. Okay, whatever. Then you can select that one, whichever you want, and you can pass your GitHub account details, your GitHub platform details, like your GitHub account, your repo name, your branch name, your root folder, etc., where your data is present. Where your data is present, that all details you have to pass. If you want to integrate your data factory with GitHub, this is the demo we are going to do in the upcoming classes. As of now, I'm not touching this one. I'll show how to integrate data factory with GitHub. This is in the syllabus. I'll show it to you guys. Okay. As of now, I'm just checking this. Okay. I'm not configuring. Later on, I'll show. It's a very big demo. Integrate data factory with GitHub is a very big demo. I'll show in the upcoming classes. The demo itself will take at least half an hour. Fine. 45 minutes, half an hour. Next, networking. Enable manage virtual network on the default auto resolve integration runtime. Auto resolve integration runtime. If you want to enable the manage virtual network, then you can check this box. Okay. And how you want it. Connection via public endpoint or private endpoint. I'm just saying with the public endpoint here. Okay. Fine. Private endpoint means what it will do. It will ask me to set up the separate network, and a special nick will get created, and what will happen, the people who are trying to connect from that network only, it will be accessible, else it won't. So as of now, I'll just keep it public endpoint only. Then next. Okay. Data factory encryption. Encryption is what? Providing security, encrypting, so that it will be safe from any attacks or any viruses, or any kind of keys, connection strings that is there. Everything will be encrypted, safe and secure. Okay. If you check this one, and you can pass your key vault details. Okay. and assigned identity. So here how we can keep our uh, database connection strings in the key vault, and instead of passing the database name, database password, database server name openly, okay, what we'll do, we'll keep the details in the key vault and then we'll integrate, we'll pass the details in ADF, okay, via key vault, so that our database name, our server names, our passwords will not get exposed. Okay, fine. I'll show this also in the upcoming classes, how we can integrate our ADF with the key vault, and how we can store the secrets in the key vault, and how we can use the key vault in ADF instead of openly passing the credentials like username, password, and all. Fine. Next, tags. Tags is the one which we are seeing always every time whenever we are doing a deployment. Okay, whenever we are making the deployment of any service, we are seeing this tags. We can pass the tags here. Why you are getting this ADF, for which application, which data it is going to process. Okay, what is the business application ID, etc. All the details that you can pass it, so that in future it will be helpful for you to understand why you have, or why anyone has created in your team this ADF and all this blah blah. Fine. Next, review plus create. Let us see, the validation should get succeeded. What all the details we have passed here, all details it will validate. Okay, all these details it will validate. If everything is fine, then it will, okay, pass your validation, and finally it will allow you to click on create. Finally, it will allow you to click on create. Click on create here. Now, a data factory will get created. Azure Data Factory will get created. Okay. See, guys, Azure Data Factory, okay, creation of Azure Data Factory is very easy, very simple. But inside Azure Data Factory, working on multiple controls, designing the pipelines, establishing the connections, fulfilling the business logics, writing the business expressions, that is tough. Configurations is very tough inside the ADF, inside the ADF pipelines. Okay, see now ADF got created. If I click on data factory, see this is my ADF got created. Naresh ADF 1154 something with this version, in this free trial subscription, in this resource group. Okay, and in this location. I'll click on this ADF. This is my ADF homepage. Okay, what I'll do, if I want to start working in ADF, I have to click on launch the studios. Means what? Launch ADF studios. Okay. So everything, whatever you are working in ADF, you will work inside the ADF studios. See Azure Data Factory studios here. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll simply say here, launch the studios. So once you click on launch studios, then what will happen here? See, this is ADF interface itself. This is what this is cloud portal interface, or homepage of Azure Cloud Computing Platform. This is the homepage of ADF itself. This is a homepage of ADF itself. Okay, now here you are having multiple features. Home. When you click on home, you will see this one. This is what the author icon. Here you can design your pipelines. You can design your data sets. You can design your data flows, etc. Okay, other things also. Monitor, if you have set up any automations, okay, you have done any pipeline executions, you have ran any triggers, you have set up the triggers, etc. Whatever it is that you can see here. Manage, here you can create the link services. You can integrate your ADF with GitHub. Okay, and you can, configure the triggers here, etc., etc. That all you can do here in the manage. And this is learning center. This mostly we have not explored this one. Okay, this four we'll use on regular basis. Fine. Then here, if you see updates, whatever Microsoft is launching, the new updates, Microsoft is, adding the new features in area, that all they will put here. See, plenty of things are there. Okay, if you are interested, you can read all these updates. Okay, fine. Then next, if you are having multiple data factories, multiple ADFs, then it will allow you to switch to multiple ADFs here. See, Microsoft Entra ID, this is our Entra ID directory. This is our subscription. And here, if you're having multiple data factories like 4, 5, 10, then you can switch here. You choose that one and say here, okay, you will navigate to that data factory. Okay, fine. Then next, notifications. What is this notifications here? Notifications is something, whatever you are doing in ADF, like, you are creating controls, you are writing the business logics, you are making the modifications, you are establishing the connections, you are setting up the features, properties, you are, configuring the data sets, you are implementing the link services, everything, whether it get failed, it get passed, it get in progress. Okay, or the access upgraded, access degraded, anything that you are doing, that all you will get here in the notifications. Okay, fine. No, no, no. Multiple data factories, it depends, ma. So how the architecture will be designed accordingly, we can have multiple data factories, Lata. Okay. So one data factory, we can keep it for banking domain. One data factory, we can keep it for a retail domain. It depends. It depends. Depends upon project to project architecture, how it is and all. See, architecture will be designed. Okay, project architecture will be designed by cloud architect. That people are very senior, like, they are having 18, 15, 20, 15 plus years of experience, 18 years, 20 years of experience. They will design the uh, architecture, and accordingly, as per the architecture, we'll get the KT. Okay, we'll get involved in the meetings and all, and they will make us understand. Then we'll start implementing the services for data engineering. Okay, you need a lot of training, you need a lot of understanding, lot of hours and hours of meeting will happen. It will not happen just like that. Okay, when you start working in real time projects now, guys, okay, the exposure, the learnings, and the way of working in real time industry is completely different. Okay, so but yes, whatever you are working there, that is absolutely this one only. Whatever you are working in your real-time project, absolutely this ADF only, this portal only, this homepage only, this look and feel only, everything is same. Okay, fine. This is what notifications options. Next, settings. If you want to do any settings, these are just not, we don't use these options, but still languages. If you want to see ADF in different languages, like you are from Dutch, okay, like Dutch, where we use Dutch in New Zealand, no, not in New Zealand, somewhere we use Dutch in European country. We know Netherlands, we use Dutch in Netherlands. Okay, France, Indonesia, Italian, see, plenty of different countries languages are available here. Okay, if you want, you can set it up. Default, I'm going with United States English only. Fine. This is help if you need anything. Okay, feedback, if you want to give the feedback and all. So this is what your ADF homepage, how does it look like? It is that will you can see when you click on the ADF studios. Now this is the steps, guys. Okay, implementation steps to create an ADF. Okay, I have not referred the steps. You want, you can refer the steps also. First, resource group should be there ready. Then search for data factory in Azure portal and fill the below details. Subscription, you can pick any subscription, any resource group, any name, any region, any version. Next, git configuration. Okay, then this one, then networking. Yeah, what after you deploy your ADF, then you will see the networking here on the left side under ADF. Okay, after the ADF gets deployed. Okay. In real-time projects, we'll create a separate storage account for each environment. Like for a test environment, data will be created in a separate storage account. For dev environment, data will be created in a separate storage account. Like this, multiple storage accounts, you can have it accordingly. Read this theory, guys. This is all theory. Read this theory. Okay. What I'll do tomorrow from here, we are starting the labs. See, implementation steps. Implementation steps. Okay. These are the ADF labs. See, this is the ADF lab. If I open this one, see, this is implementation step. This is the lab. Step 1, step 2, step 3. step 4, step 5. This I'll show in tomorrow's class. This lab is going to be very big. It will take minimum 45 minutes. Okay. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, step 6, step 7. Oh my God. This is very big up to here. Okay. So from tomorrow, we'll start the full-fledged labs for ADF, Azure Data Factory. We are going to start the labs. Okay. This is another scenario, another requirement. Okay. Variety of different scenarios and different requirements we are covering in ADF classes, guys. Okay. So implementation steps for copying the zip file. Zip file. Zip file is what? Carrying multiple other files. Blob storage account in ADF, Gen2 storage account using Azure Data Factory. ADF is Azure Data Factory. Okay. So this is another lab. Step 1, step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my God, this is very big. Up to here, this lab is also very big. So see, this is another lab. Okay, this all labs I'm going to show you from tomorrow's class, guys. All these are labs only. Okay, step 8, step 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my God, very big demos we are having in ADF, guys. Okay, so in tomorrow's class, I'll just start this one. Fine. So anyone, any questions, anything? Guys, please read the theoretical information. Any doubt, any question you are having in theoretical point of view, you can ask me. Okay, I'll just try to help you out. Okay. Acha. SQL Server instance is running, then you have not done the proper configuration. Gopi, please see the video recordings. I told very clearly at the time of SQL Server deployment, there is one option, current client IP address. For that, you have to say yes. And public network, you have to say yes. Okay. And Azure services communicate to this database, that you have to say yes. So some settings might be you have missed, and because of that reason, it is not allowing you to connect. Okay, please see the video recordings. That's why we'll tell lot of times that video recordings is your weapon. See the video recording second by second, carefully, click by click. Okay, fine. From page number 31. Shalini, from page number 31. Okay, from page number 31, we are having theoretical information. And here we'll start at the labs. Okay. And tomorrow we'll start from page number 43. This is the labs that will start in tomorrow's class. Okay. All right. I believe I have shared the material with each and every one of you. Yes, no? Material is there with everyone, na? Okay, Rajesh, what is this? At the time creating a virtual machine, it is always showing connecting. It is always showing connecting. But RDP file is not downloading. Okay, RDP file is not downloading for you. Then what operating system you are taking? Are you sure you are taking Windows 2019 or Windows 2022? Okay, see guys, single mistake here and there will make you will make you cry, or else will make you irritate. Single mistake also. I'm not sure what operating system you are taking here. Okay, Rajesh, why it should definitely allow you to download the RDP file? See, for me, it is allowing, I'm able to do in front of you in the class as a proof you are seeing everything. Then why, when you guys are doing it, okay, ensure that you are doing something somewhere wrong. Are you taking some Linux operating system, Ubuntu operating system, something like that? Just check it properly. And are you taking the authentication mechanism as user ID and password? Check that also. Okay. When will you provide assignments, sir? Yashwant, are you doing all the labs whatever I'm showing in the classes? See, that is what Rajesh. See, everyone, not only to Rajesh, please see the video recordings carefully, click by click, second by second. Then you can complete your labs, guys. I'm telling. And if you're getting errors, no need. Let it be. Your errors is your learning. Okay. Mukul Prasad, I have a question regarding yesterday's class. While creating database, do we get username, password, and server name from client or architect, or do we have to create our own? No. The naming, the conventions, the standards you have to follow, Mukul Prasad. The username and password you cannot give as per your choice. Okay, a protocol is there as per the project standards that you have to follow. Okay. Here we are having our own subscription, our own free trial account. We are doing as per our choice, but the procedure how we are doing it now, it is exactly same like that only. Okay, all right, fine guys, I'll just stop the class here. Thank you so much for your questions. Okay, I hope I have addressed everyone questions here. Please see the video recordings again. I am telling, take the video recordings, guys. Okay, see the video recordings carefully. Then I'm 100% sure with patience you are going to complete the labs. You have to do hard work, guys. Believe me, I did the practice up to 1 o'clock in the night last night. I slept at 2 o'clock and at 7:30 I woke up again. Okay, what is this? This is what all hard work I'm doing. Even now also, even after having 10 plus 14 years of experience, I'm doing the hard work. Hard work is there. Without hard work, no field is there you can get success without hard work. Either you become actor, you become lawyer, you become doctor, you become IT professional, whatever it is, you have to you have to struggle hard. You have to, keep learning the things. Okay, fine. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll connect again tomorrow. Okay. Have a nice day ahead. Bye.